on the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one nation, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you. If there's any members of the public who want to speak to the court on business matters, please do so at this time. If you would, give your name, address, what precinct you live in, and go from there, in generally about 3 minutes.
Thank you, Judge Felton. Commissioners, my name is Sarah Menarchik Lenart. I am in Precinct 3. The address that I am currently talking about is property that I own. It's 2797 Ross Road, that's Elmont. I am one of over 3,000 people that are opposing the L2D2, which is the Lacey Lakeview Data Center District project that Lacey Lakeview and Infrakey is trying to put in a rural residential area. Now, what I would like to briefly talk with you today about is through open records, we have obtained some information, both emails, text messages, documents that show planned meetings between Infrakey and Lacey Lakeview and members of this court. Again, these were planned meetings that we discovered. Don't know if they actually took place or not. But the planned meetings were with Commissioner Jones because he is Precinct 3, Judge Felton. There were also planned meetings with Dustin Chapman, who is with the county. There were planned meetings with Chris Collins, who's with the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce. And then there, Mayor Holmes with Waco Mayor. And then also the Brazos River Authority, David Collingsworth. Again, don't know if these meetings actually took place, but they were planned. Now, the handout that is provided for you is part of the open records documents that we received. They are text messages between Infrakey representative or the executive, also between Mayor Wilson at Lacey Lakeview, City Manager Hottie, Calvin Hottie was part of all of this, and also the previous district clerk, John Gimble. Now, all of this came about very secretively because we learned about this because of a Waco Bridge article that was done by Sam Shaw. And so it came to light in November, but we did not know about this. The land had already been purchased earlier. So what I'm trying to do with this handout is just let you know that there is an intent, what seems to be an intent, to be very secretive about this operation. There's been no public input. There's been no outreach to the public about what's going on. There are also what seems to be some unethical practices. So for me, with you as the commissioners, and the judge, I need you to be aware of what's going on in your county. I need you to talk to people in the city who are possibly responsible for this thing being discussed. I need facts. We the people who are opposing this need facts. We shouldn't have to do filings of open records to find out what's going on. Because in the long term, this is in my backyard. The acreage that I inherited from my parents, it butts up against this 526 acres. And anything that they put in there will be devastating for the community members that live there. Thank you for your time. Anything you can do for us is greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much. Good job. Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning to the court. I'm Robin Miller, husband of the late Patricia Chisholm Miller. In 1995, Pat Miller began her service in the county as administrative assistant to the late Lester Gibson for 22 years. Pat was then appointed to the McLennan County Commissioner Court to the Enterprise Community Development Commission. On January 1st, 2019, she was sworn in as Precinct 2 Commissioner and was reelected in 2022, and becoming the first woman to be elected to the Commissioner's Court and the first African-American woman to serve on the court. During her tenure, she was one of only 6 women serving on the Commissioner's Court in the state of Texas. Commissioner Miller's dedication to public service and community advocacy earned her numerous honors, including the NAACP Award of Outstanding Service and the Women of Excellence Award presented by the New Black Collective in 2001. She championed issues impacting her constituents, such as reducing contamination in drinking water, economic development, and stabilizing the tax rate. She was widely known as a strong advocate for all of McLennan County. Regardless of precinct, or political affiliation. Excuse me. Her favorite saying was, "Just do the right thing," was more than a motto. It was a principle she consistently lived by while serving the people of McLennan County. Pat spent 28 years serving the people of McLennan County. And because of her service, and because of the work she's done, I'm asking the court to consider renaming the Records Building after her, because of the work she put there, the people she helped there, and the time served. I'm asking to name it the Pat Chisholm Miller Record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Anyone else want to speak to the court on business matters? All right. I'd like to go to the consent agenda. Recommended pull is E3A. Is there any other recommended pulls? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of the pull on E3A?
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Smith, good morning, Commissioner Smith. And we have a second by Commissioner Perry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. All right, I'd like to recess for about 3 minutes. Thank you. HR matter with county sheriff. And I think that's a pull though, right, Anna?
Yes, that's right, no action.
All right, there's a pull with no action on that. And so there's no other things to discuss under the consent agenda, so, all right. Okay, Dustin? Oh, Dustin, I'd like to go to items L3 regarding the Texas General Land Office Local Hazard Mitigation Planning Program, grant awards, et cetera. And also L4 after that regarding the Texas Division of Emergency Management hazardous materials emergency preparation, preparedness planning. So, good morning.
Judge Felton, Commissioners, good morning.
Morning.
The two items before you, the first is the kind of the wrap-up on the county hazard mitigation plan rewrite that we brought before this court early last year. The plan is reaching the final stages, and I believe the vote of the court here just kind of puts the cap on the final pieces of that plan. Last I heard, only one jurisdiction remains unsigned, and that is to be handled by the end of this month when their city council gets together to do that. The second agenda item is about the community flow study. We applied for this last year and were not selected by TDEM. If selected, this program would allow a contractor that is paid for by TDEM and selected by TDEM to undergo a community flow study. So take a look at all of the various products, people, and things that are moved through the I-35 corridor that comes through the county, major artery throughout the state, and a lot of hazardous materials do come up and down that corridor. And so what this would allow is a better model for us to understand as a county just what we have coming through our county and in what volumes.
Okay. All right, any questions on that? All right, if not, is there a motion to approve the ratification of the agreement, of the amendment on L3, and motion to approve the grant application on L4?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. While you're here,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to go to E7 on burn ban. I know the numbers.
I think we're in good shape. I checked them before we came here. Our KBDI is well under our 550 threshold. Matter of fact, I think it's in the 200 and 300s. We just had a ton of rain over the weekend. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, I had right at 3/4 of an inch myself, and then a lot of
Yes, sir.
dews and everything. All right, so under E7, there's, I guess, no, I guess is to make a motion that burn ban stay as is, I guess.
Hey, Judge, we're
believe-
covered with it on the consent agenda, so I think we're good.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Dustin.
All right, we have nothing under item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs this week. Under item G, contracts and interlocal agreements. G1 is authorization of agreement for engineering environmental services with BGE for Blue Hole Branch at Lindsay Lane. Amy?
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. This agreement got started because we received a petition from the majority of the residents on Lindsay Lane asking that we replace the low water crossing. It is a dead-end road, so when there is a rain event, a significant rain event, sometimes those residents get trapped in their houses for several days at a time. So we looked at it in conjunction with precinct and decided that we could replace that with a series of larger culverts similar to what we did on Horseshoe Bend, and we were proceeding with that project. Had a meeting with the local residents to talk about it, and they were largely in favor, but one of the residents told us that this is part of the waters of the U.S., so we have to go through a study so that we can get an exclusion so that we can do the work. So that's not something that we have the in-house ability to do, so we did get a proposal from BGE to do that work for us. They have done that on the two projects that we're getting ready to bid, the 7 Mile and Thompson Road Bridges, they did the same studies for that. So this is a professional services contract with them for $23,339 to do the study so that we will not have to get a permit from the Army Corps.
Okay, before we ask for a motion or whatever, you said it dead ends. So is there any potential of expansion in that area, like developing on out? In other words, could one day it be a road that goes further in where there would be more development along both sides?
I would have to look at that and get back to you, Judge,
Okay.
and let you know.
My opinion,
Yeah,
and just being out there,
right.
unless there's a floodplain issue, yes, there could be development in the future.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all subject to floodplain more
Right.
than
Okay.
more than anything.
okay.
So that would be, I mean, yeah, it's beautiful
Yeah.
property out there.
Yeah, I knew it was. Good. All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Question, Judge?
I
Yes, sir.
have some questions too.
Yeah, for Amy. Amy, is there any way other than the local resident thinking that it's the waters of the U.S. that this has been verified so we don't have to do all of these other studies?
Yeah, we did verify that it is waters of the U.S. It was really surprising to me because there are times when that's dry. So I didn't assume it to be a navigable waterway.
Okay, thank you.
So I did a lot of research back in the day on waters of the U.S., and Amy and I both agreed that, you know, whether this was or not,
You know, do.
well, it's just, you know, it's kind of up for interpretation.
Yeah,
And so, this is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fine, actually. But I had the same thought as Amy, that it dries up, it's not navigable ever. And so, but this one landowner had a different opinion.
yeah.
And so, how long is this going to take?
Probably from start to finish, 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So we'll end up doing
So
the
we
work
were,
in the
we were
dry
ready to
season.
go with it.
Yep.
We were ready to go with this immediately.
And y'all are gonna do that work.
We were gonna combine on it.
We're gonna,
We were gonna.
if it was gonna be short term, we were gonna jump on it real quick and get
Yeah,
it
we were
done,
gonna,
but-
we were combine on it, knock it out while it was still dry, and then, but now we have to wait.
Yeah, we already had the culverts delivered to site. We had the coordination with the utilities done already. We're basically good to go.
So the main point here is you were gonna do it whether the waters are US or, you didn't know about it, but it didn't matter because you thought it needed to be done. So,
It has, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a life safety thing.
yeah. All right, any other questions or
In
comments?
my opinion.
I make a motion, we move forward.
Second.
I have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose, pass.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
G2 is authorization of interlocal cooperative agreement with the city of Woodway for tree trimming. Commissioner Perry?
This goes in conjunction with the interlocal agreement to repave the park roads. There'll be a little bit of tree work that needs to be done. $640 for equipment and personnel. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second, just a comment, could y'all come over to my house for $640?
Sure. You don't care what we cut, do you?
He's selling firewood. All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose, pass.
G3 is authorization of memorandum of understanding and related business associate agreement with Heart of Texas Community Health Center doing business as Waco Family Medicine for case management and healthcare services for individuals exiting incarceration. So this comes from the funding that was approved in the last legislative session. The sheriff's office is going to partner Waco Family Medicine. This will support jail discharge medication and care coordination for exiting inmates leaving the county jail. It will connect those inmates to case managers from Waco Family Medicine who will ensure that they have their psychiatric medications and then provide case management to those cases to help reduce recidivism. And I know Katie Taylor is on if there are any questions. This is also approval for this. We're also looking for the approval of the related business associate agreement as well. So Katie, is there anything you would like to add?
I would just like to emphasize that this is all about continuity of care for inmates being released from our custody. Excuse me, instead of just somehow hoping that once they are released, they are able to get their medications on their own and continue with their treatment. This program involves direct coordination with Waco Family Medicine, where the providers at Waco Family Medicine ensure that before they leave, they have their medications set up and appointments set up with follow-on providers. So the custody of care, the continuity of care is prearranged, and it makes it easier for these individuals to maintain their treatment.
All right, any questions?
No questions, Judge, but I would comment that although we're not paying Waco Family Medicine for the services, we are providing some in-kind services that amounts to dollars for the county from the last three bullets of the first part, assisting them and transportation and ongoing collaborative. So our SO is doing some in-kind service, very much so.
Right, and but it does help on the revolving door.
Yes, sir.
When people are released and they get off their meds before they see a doctor again, and then they think they don't need the meds and they're back in the jail.
Yeah, my
So-
wife, my
Yeah.
wife worked at the jail
Yeah.
for 8 years, and even being on patrol out there, you see, and when she comes in, they do the medical eval on them. They said, no, I haven't taken my meds in 6 months or a year, and then that's why they're back in there. It's
Yeah.
like the revolving door. So
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a great
Yeah.
process.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
I make a
Motion.
motion. Go ahead. I make a motion that we,
Second?
All right, have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, pass.
G4 is authorization of interlocal cooperation agreement with the city of Waco for hotel occupancy tax collection services. So this is essentially just a renewal of our interlocal with Waco, where we contract with Waco and then they select a third-party vendor that does the collection of these hotel occupancy taxes. I think everything's been working well. The vendor is currently Avenue. The cost per property is $125 per year. I know Frances deals with it much more than I do on that end. So curious if she has any thoughts, but I think the recommendation would be to approve this agreement with the city. But Frances, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think this has been a great relationship. The three parties, city, county, and then Avenue as the collection agent. The information they give us is great. Everything's done very timely. We've never had issues. So I would recommend moving forward with that company once again this year.
Any questions anyone would have?
So they collect the taxes for hotels that are not in the city of Waco also on behalf of the county, correct? Like in other cities?
Yes, they collect all hotel taxes, no matter city, county,
Okay.
outside city limits.
Okay.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion been made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Under item H, Waco McLennan County Economic Development Corporation, H1 is regarding the program project agreement with Brazos Rivers Ventures LLC and Electrolyte Manufacturing, recording of revised payment request. We just wanted to get this in front of y'all to get this corrected in the minutes. So on January 6th, the court approved payment to Electrolyte totaling $3 million through WIMDEC, which the county's portion of that was $1.5 million. The actual amount should have been $2.5 million total, with the county's portion being $1,250,000. So we just need to accept this for recording purposes.
Any questions? I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second?
Made the motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Under item I, capital improvement and construction projects, I-1 is regarding Chapel Road Improvement Project. I-1A is authorization of professional services invoice from Langerman Engineering. And I-1B is authorization of application for payment number 24 from Kasperian Underground doing business as H&B Contractors. Amy?
Morning again. Woo-hoo, final walkthrough tomorrow for Chapel Road, so ribbon cutting very soon. So we're incredibly excited, I guess you can tell, that we're in the final chapter of this project.
It looks great. I came down through there yesterday, and it's such an improvement. The safety, the way it looks, I think it'll cause further investment in that area too, which will be paid back, so.
Have y'all set a date?
We have not yet set a date. I'm going to get a few choices, and I will float it to the court and see what works.
All right, check with the weatherman. I'm good with that.
All right?
All right. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Pass.
I-2 is regarding Patton Branch Road at Aquila Creek Low Water Crossing, culvert replacement project, professional services agreement with Langerman Engineering, authorization of invoice. Amy?
This one is just for testing for Langerman. They did do some testing on the subbase, and we did a little bit of remedial action on either side of the new approaches. So we're buttoning up there, and I think they have the base down, and they should be paving in the next week or so. So we're going to be done soon on that one as well.
Okay. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I-3 is regarding the Justice of the Peace Precinct 5 Office Edition Construction Agreement with HCS, authorization of payment application number 5. Ken?
Yes, this pay application is the amount of $76,563.05, and it's been reviewed and recommended to approve.
And the balance to finish is $132,851.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Commissioner Smith?
No, sir. No questions this time.
I saw you shake your head. All right, I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Item J, budget amendments. J1 is regarding the FY25 budget. There's nothing there this week. So J2 is regarding the FY26 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So for current year FY '26, I'll run through the budget amendments requested. So starting with J2A, this is General Fund Constable Precinct 5. In the original budget for this year, you had approved for them the purchase of 2 radios for that office, and it was estimated to be a total of $10,387. They have since found that they can actually buy 4 radios for $12,036. So they are requesting to change that from 2 to 4 radios, and they have found the excess funds. I think the budget amendment and the notes say contingencies, but it's coming from their furniture and equipment line within their department. And so because it's capital outlay, that's coming to you to approve as well. J2B, this is a certification of revenue for interlocal agreement proceeds with the city of Golson in the amount of $30,000. And so then the attached budget amendment increases that revenue line for those unanticipated proceeds, and the request to increase an expense line is from Road and Bridge 3, and that would increase repair and maintenance. J2C, this is Fund 418, the Venue Project Fund. These are increases to clean up line items from previous approvals that you've made on other agendas. So the top line being the parking lot project. So that would increase by increase for that change order that you've previously approved. And then the 2 lines for the surplus funds for 2025 to the City of Waco and Waco ISD. So it sets up budgets in those lines so that those payments will properly be reflected in the budget. J2D, this is Fund 421. This is 2021 bond proceeds. This is to move excess funds that were in the Panther Branch Road project line. That project is complete. And so we're moving those funds that were allocated back into contingencies so they can be reallocated to another project. J2E. J2E, this is General Fund JP11. It is a request to increase supplies by moving from other lines in their budget, and this will cover supply cost for a new employee in that office. J2F, this is General Fund Maintenance of Buildings, and they're requesting to move within their department into the uniforms and insignias line item for costs they anticipate for the remainder of the fiscal year. J2G, this is general fund, county treasurer. This is a request for an increase to come from the county-wide contingencies into the furniture and equipment in that department. This is requested to purchase a backup check printer for that office. So this is a very important printer that we recently, I know, had some issues with it, with printing one day, and luckily, those issues were resolved quickly. But when that machine goes down, of course, we cannot proceed with issuing disbursements timely. And so, so that request there is to purchase that backup printer that will be housed in the treasurer's office. J2H, this is General Fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 4, requesting to move within that department into capital outlay. This will cover accessories for the 2026 Chevrolet that was purchased this fiscal year. And then J2I, we're going to pull with no action.
Pull with no action on J2I.
Yes, sir. And then J2J, this is General Fund, Road and Bridge 3, requesting to move within that department into capital outlay to purchase a rotary head for a boom mower. And so that would cover J2A through J with the exception of I.
All right. Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve all those items with the exception of J2I that's pulled or deferred?
So moved.
All right, have a motion.
Second.
No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
J2K is authorization of Texas Association of Counties claim deductible invoices. These are all sheriff's office / law enforcement matters. J2K1 is an invoice totaling $67.50 for a claim associated with Tyler Finch. J2K2 is an invoice totaling $2,227.50 for a claim associated with Daniel Ballou. Then J2K3 is an invoice totaling $2,420 for claims associated with Kyle Nielsen, and they have been reviewed and recommended for approval.
All right, any questions on those? If not, is there a motion to approve J2K1, J2K2, J2K3?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
We have nothing under item K this week. Under item L, grants, proposals. L1 is our ARPA discussion. L1A is authorization of addendum to beneficiary agreement with Leroy Coors Gerald Water Supply Corporation for generator funding. The generator came in under budget, under cost, or under budget, I'm sorry, on the non-arsenic project for LTG. So they have excess funding. They would like to use it to pay for or reimburse expenses directly related to the betterment or expansion of its water supply services. It's around $9,700, I believe. We have done this before. Other option is, of course, if the court does not wish to allow this, those funds could be then used on another projects similar to the judicial center conversion. So it's up to the court, but it is, we have done similar things before, so it is our recommendation to approve this addendum with LTG to let them use those unspent funds on other items that would benefit its water supply services.
I'm good with that as long as we know exactly what it is and that it all meets our requirements under the grant. So I'll make a motion that we approve that.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
L2 is regarding the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services Title IV-E grant contract for legal services. L2A is authorization of Title IV-E legal assistance claim for quarter ending December 31st, 2025. Then L2B is authorization of Title IV-E legal representation for that same quarter. Francis?
Not too much more to add. Our quarterly expense claims for Title IV-E legal. And so, like Dustin mentioned, A is for other expenses categorized within that claim that totals a federal reimbursement of $14,080.51. And then L2B is for attorney fees. under Title IV Illegal, and that federal reimbursement is $21,824.92.
All right, any questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, under item M, Department Office Specific Request, M1's Maintenance of Buildings, Authorization of Reimbursement for Vehicle Damage. So TJ or Francis?
Yes, we had one of the guys back into a vehicle out at JP3 in West. This cost is to replace the bumper because it didn't quite meet the deductible on the insurance policy. We reviewed it and recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Right, under item N, additional items. N1's regarding the McLennan County Group Health Plan. N1A is authorization of stop-loss policy with Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company. N1B is authorization of master agreement and member notification service agreement with Standard Insurance Company for life and disability insurance. And N1C is authorization of administrative services agreement with Optum Healthcare Solutions for the OnePass program. Anna?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So the three agreements that we're presenting are just the results of the proposals that were presented and approved by Commissioners Court through the RFP process. I'm just going to outline the terms for the court. And so the first is Cigna. Individual stop-loss coverage. It is a year term through December 31st of this year. The deductible is $175,000. That's the limit, and the cost is $99.77 per employee per month. And then that matches what was in the RFP process. The same with the standard. That matches the terms that were in the RFP process. That is a 3-year term through December 31st of 2028. And then the last is OnePass Select agreement, which was in the RFP process, but the terms here are outlined for us. That is a 1-year agreement through December 31st of 2026. And that cost is $3.75 per employee per month. But that is a cost that's covered through the wellness allowance that will be outlined in the service agreement with Cigna. All of these agreements have been reviewed by HUB, International, HR, and our county legal as well. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Did the cost of this go up?
The stop loss, it did compared to what we were paying with UHC last year. However, UHC's renewal amount that they disclosed in their proposal was higher than the $99.77. They pitched a cost of $116.51 per employee per month in their proposal for this renewal
So
year.
we came in under.
Yes, sir.
Yep, good. All right, any questions? All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Right, under item N2 regarding the Information Technology Policy and Procedures Handbook, N2A is authorization of update to prohibited technology security policy. And then N2B is authorization of vendor access policy addition. So John?
Morning.
Morning.
So this first policy is required by law. The governor signed it into law, I think, 2 years ago now. It's a preventing use of prohibited technologies. I'll get this right sooner or later. And all the updates are just updates to the technologies that are prohibited, the Appendix A. And N2B is the vendor access policy edition. This is the next step in our cybersecurity program. We have several vendors that do have access to our systems here, and all this does is outline how they must access the system and how we monitor that access. Do y'all have any questions on either of those?
Yeah, John, I do. Under the artificial intelligence part of the first one, N2A, I know we're using Chat GPT. That has no Chinese affiliation?
I can't say that 100%. I haven't investigated that far, but the state has not prohibited it. These are all All these technologies are passed down by the state that we have to add into this policy.
I guess we could ask ChatGPT if there's any Chinese affiliation.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Yes, sir.
All right,
So this is recommended, both of these are recommended for approval.
all right. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
And then Judge, if it's okay, do you want to hold the discussion on the road projects until
Yeah.
we just have 2 action items left?
Yes, please.
So nothing under item O, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. Under item P, the McLennan County Downtown Jail Remodel. P1s regarding the construction manager at risk agreement with John W. Irwin. P1A is authorization of application for partial payment number 14. Ken, did you want to cover this?
Yes, sir. It's in the amount of $2,607,791, and it's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. And Ken, does it look like we're on
schedule?
On schedule, time, and budget?
Yes, sir. It really does.
Okay, thank you. All right,
P2 is regarding McLennan County Downtown Jail Remodel Professional Services Agreement with Langerman Engineering, authorization of invoice. This invoice totals $7,650 and is recommended for approval. TJ, anything additional to add?
No, sir.
all right. Any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
All right, going back to item N3, this is discussion regarding funding, financing of county road projects. I know I visited with Commissioner Wilson a few weeks ago about several road projects, including the roads that lead to Trading House Park. Some of those are, of course, Hallsburg roads, and then there were some other roads to be discussed, such as Battle Lake. And so visited with Judge, and we thought we would put this item on the agenda so the court could have a discussion on the funding and financing of these county road projects. So, Judge?
Yeah, as y'all recall, back when, after Commissioner Miller passed away, and there was a time there that waiting to appoint a commissioner, we had discussions about that there would be some significant road projects out there that needed to be addressed, especially since we had created and put more focus on the park out there, that we have access to the park. Also in and around the little community of Hallsburg, it has limited tax revenue to do things. And so the court, at least the way I interpret it, understood that and said it when whoever the commissioner is gets in there, that they can evaluate all the things that are needed. And there's been a lot done, no doubt about that. And then address the court as we approach the budget year coming up, and anything we can do now. And we were also not opposed to looking at outside vendors to do some of these projects, just to shorten the time frame to get them done, as well as certain projects may require an entity that has more ability to do things that we don't normally do, dealing with engineering and those things. So Commissioner Wilson, any thoughts you might have?
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but Commissioner Smith's getting a lot of calls on roads out there. We have the grant now, right, for the park, so that's good, exciting news. And I did see some plans on Hall Drive. I think me and Amy have talked about that too. But Hall Drive is in not too bad a shape, except that curb at the school, which is really dangerous for the school buses, and then people meeting people with boats and trailers and everything else.
Good.
But we have really have a lot of deterioration on Harris and Summerfield, especially going into the city of Hallsburg, and we get calls on that daily almost.
Yes,
So,
I do.
You do too, so you know who we're talking about. But And that, it is a big concern to us to get those two figured out. And Hall Drive is, and then of course, whether we're gonna leave the opening on the back of the park open on Wilbanks. Wilbanks is non-drivable right now because you've been down it, I'm sure. It's very dangerous. You know, we did do a little interlocal agreement up on Pavelka toward the lake, which turned out fantastic, which is smooth up there by the cemetery. Now, we've got, you know, big issues with Battle Lake Road. And of course, Commissioner Miller was here when they did the study on Battle Lake Road. It's just really deteriorated, and that needs to be looked at with a third vendor because it's just something more that Precinct 2 just cannot do as far as that goes. But Harrison and Summerfield, that's a big deal right now that we need to, either we need to try to, if you want us to do it, we can try to put that into our projects, but that needs to be done, and hopefully that could be done with Hall and Harrison and Summerfield together in a situation. But Battle Lake Road, you know, we've had that study. Me and Amy have looked at it. It's a lot of sight distance problems there. If you want to do it the right way, you're gonna have to get some right of way. But Summerfield and Harrison, I don't think you'd have to have any right of way purchasing, so.
Well, and also, I think, unless it's changed, I don't think it has, Google Maps shows to get to the park, to the ramps, you come down to Harrison.
Right, and, you know, we've got phone calls just like you have,
Yeah.
signed up and said, this is not the way to the lake. Well, that
Yes.
can't happen, you know,
No,
so. It's beautiful drive through there to the lake, and I'm so excited about the lake and what possibilities are gonna be out there.
Yeah. I would just say that, our thoughts at the time we had the discussion when the seat was vacant is, that the commissioner would, give us a recommendation about, the total scope if you can. And then prioritize it, and then any recommendations you've got on what goes to third-party vendors and all. You know, as we get ready to sell bonds, generally in the summertime, then taking those into consideration, is, those projects to be sure, and I think our wording's good in our bond language right now on the bonds we've already.
Right.
So
And
we can make sure and maybe even be specific in our bond language going forward. And I look at it like, I don't care if it's precinct 1, 2, 3, or 4. It belongs to all the taxpayers in the county.
yes, sir.
And so, you know, I live in precinct 2. I know exactly what the situation is. But I'd also drive in precinct 1, 3, and 4. And so, you know, I think we should look at it as it's a countywide project, is what I'm
Well,
saying.
especially for the park, it's gonna be used by everybody in the whole,
Park is already separated,
yes.
and it's not precinct driven, it's the whole commissioner's court on it. But that drives the need to fix those other pieces in the connection between precinct 2 and the park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we repaired Hall Drive from Battle Lake Road down to the school, which needed it tremendously because of the bus riders. We had a lot of complaints about the big dip in there, but that's all beautiful now, and that ties to Battle Lake Road, but it also ties to the lake too, so that's done.
Well, in the little, I call it a dog leg right there by the school, if we can take that out, like you're saying.
Well, the
because
plans
school
I saw that y'all
Yeah.
showed me
Had
that
that.
take that dog leg out, and that property is actually, the old railroad track is owned by the school, so
Right.
I think there's just a little bitty piece of the corner we're gonna have to buy from our residents, so,
Yeah.
the school, I mean, you gotta buy from school too, but, they're all for it for safety reasons.
I was on the school board at Hallsburg whenever we got all those railroad tracks. And that was for the purpose, one day, we needed to be able to improve that area, and we would have some land to trade in it. So it took 30 or 40 years for that to
Well,
happen.
like I said, my number one concern right now is Battle Lake Road from Highway 6 to the golf course is the real dangerous part of the roadway. Then Hall and Harrison, Summerfield are number one on my list also.
Okay. Any other comments from the court?
Comment, Judge.
Yeah, yes,
I
sir.
know we've been talking about this for several years, and we've not got past just the talking part. And I agree 100%. We need a definitive plan in place that prioritizes the needs. and have some kind of ballpark figure of what it's going to cost, whether or not we can do it ourselves or whether or not it has to go to a third-party vendor, and then attack it and start getting it done. Start somehow, some way, start getting something done out there, and I think it definitely needs to be done. I've got some my own ideas that I'll hold regarding portions of the road that are within city limits and things like that we can discuss later on. But I think we've got to get a look at it and get on it.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I do have some.
Yeah, okay.
I don't necessarily agree with doing it with our own forces, and the reason I'm gonna say that road is gonna be heavily traveled. Everything that's being done now, and it just started getting done before you got in office, has put us in this spot now where it's becoming urgent to get this done. I say we put it on a bond and do it right, knowing that it's gonna have a lot of interchangeable parts moving through there, and I would just like, if we're gonna widen it, whatever we gotta do, but I want it to look extremely well and last a long time where you're not already having to make repairs within a short period of time.
Yeah, great.
I'm
One other
assuming that since it's, I mean, it's been an issue since I've been on the court for 13 years now, and I would assume that it was issues before I came on the court. It probably, it's time that we do, move forward and do something, get it to us, to the standard that we want, whether that be chip seal or
Yeah.
asphalt with improved shoulders or whatever, and then maybe look at maybe handing it off to Texas as a state road, at some point.
Something that would
Yeah,
qualify.
because
I know.
and we really have a hard time. I think what we're kind of up against is we can build all this. We've got, but how do we maintain it? How do we keep it?
Yeah,
As nice as we want.
that's kind of Commissioner Perry's point too.
Is that how does Speakerville Road work? Are we still on?
We are still responsible for maintenance on that, but that's why we had it bid out and done.
That was a very
Professional
dangerous
road
road.
contractor, so we're not.
That was a very dangerous road.
We did our
Many
part.
years.
We're waiting on the other partners to.
Yeah, we got.
But you may end up with a third party doing some of the maintenance related issues just because it's asphalt. And I think what Commissioner Jones is alluding to is, but it's
Well,
gotta be done right because we are gonna see a lot of traffic out there. I'm excited about what's going on at the lake, by the way, as well with the
Yeah,
grant.
yes,
So,
sir.
let's do it right.
So I'm trying to schedule a time for a follow-up retreat from our last one. And so for whatever information we can have at that time, that'll be part of our agenda item on there is any major projects within where it's the county's responsibility to bring those forward, whether they be in precinct 2 or any of the other precincts too. So we can at least be talking about them, get them part of our record, and then be able to follow back up on those. So,
Then obviously whatever Amy has to say as well would
well,
be
she'll be a big
kind of
part
important in that issue there.
Well, and then once we get that, at least a plan for this coming bond sale year, Francis and our office will work, so what qualifies in the bond and what doesn't, and we separate that out for the budget. So now's the time to talk about it.
The last bond that we set, I thought there was gonna be some money set aside for that, for this also. Is that still
Well,
not in there?
so I think the confusion there was that we made sure that the language was broad enough.
Okay.
That if we did do it, it covered it, but I guess it's.
We kind of use a boilerplate.
Yeah, boilerplate, and, we keep broadening the plate, but I think it's kind of your,
Wider and wider.
we're gonna look to you to say what you want done and priority side and support that.
Gotcha.
Francis, do you have anything?
So I can give you a very collapsed, short version of where we are with bond proceeds now, if you would like. So currently, and this goes through with the last bond issuance in August of 2025, we have about $63 million in fund balance. 38.3 of that is spoken for with approved projects that you have approved as a court. The majority of that being the judicial center.
Yeah.
And so that leaves about 24.7 million that is unallocated at this point in time. So that's what we have sitting. And so just to remind you, when we say allocated, I know there's discussions of projects and things, but we take it as when you actually make a formal action, when you all vote.
Yeah.
And so I know there's been talks of other packages and
Yeah.
phases of
There is, yeah.
building projects and other bridges, and so that 24.7 doesn't include, that would need to absorb those
Right,
further
so-
packages as well.
So that's saying that some of those things might be able to be done in this budget year.
Yeah, well, if we can't do the Battle Lake, that's the Summerfield and Harrison really needs to be looked at. Because I don't know how the project's gonna line up and when it's gonna start at the lake.
Yeah, well, that's there's still some work to be done on, we're approved by the grant, so now we have to start saying how it's gonna be.
Use.
What we're gonna do, and then the engineering around it qualifies for the grant. Is that right, Dustin?
That's right. And we should have, I'm betting in the next 2 to 3 court sessions should have the award agreement that we will actually need to execute with Texas Parks and Wildlife back. There were some minor changes to the budget that TJ had met with Texas Parks and Wildlife and also with Mundo. And so we'll need to, I guess, approve those or record those on the March 3rd agenda. And then that will let us get to a place where we can actually approve the agreement.
And I would assume, for you, if I were you, I would assume it's gonna happen real quick, even though it's not, just so you can be ready on your end.
Yes, sir.
When it is done, so. And then, in all that, Commissioner Smith brings up a point about, talking to any municipality that's involved in there and how they interplay in all this, so.
Yeah, but, and we both know
Yeah.
that they don't have any much funds available. They did help us on Pavelka,
Yeah,
but,
and there's certain laws we have to abide by and those kind of things, so.
but our integral link to a county road, we can, through that statute, we can help that, so.
I'd have a comment on that. We probably, if we go back to our different precincts, have several county roads that run through some cities. So we've got to be, in my mind, fair to the whole county. So I think that's something we've got to leave open for discussion. But you mentioned right away on the school. I would say when you're talking with schools, sometimes you're talking about the state of Texas. So that may be something that we'll have to also kind of look into, because it's not necessarily just the school district that can give up that land or sell it. It may have to come through the state of Texas too. So.
Well, we were fortunate with Midway, we didn't have to do that. We bought land from them as well. And just think, there's an economic impact in this as well.
Yeah.
More people will go to that lake, more people will go play golf. They can go out there and come back and not have to get a front end alignment.
Yeah, it's a dangerous road too right now with the sight distance and the bumps and the stuff like that. It's drivable. There's no holes in it, but it's just, you've been down it, and I know Will's been down it, but my main concern right now is we need to do something with Harrison and Summerfield because it needs repair.
Sure.
So
Yes.
do I need to mill it up and chip seal it now? If this is gonna take a while, I need to probably put that in my lineup with roads, on my roads, so.
You tell us, so.
Yeah, I can't wait for a year to fix Summerfield. It's
No,
just,
I
it's
agree.
past repair, so. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, hey, my thought is if it's a situation and in your judgment, Commissioner, needs to be done right now, regardless of what happens in the future, get it done. And if it's something we need to amend the budget to share the costs for those materials or labor or whatever is involved, then in my mind, it needs to be done.
I got you. It's on our list, but it was kind of like on a hold until we figure out what was going to happen. And I know nothing's going to happen. It can't happen quick. I understand that with engineering and all that. So we'll go ahead and do the Harrison and Summerfield to make it safer for everybody. And then by the lake, hopefully we can get that in the running.
Yeah.
So.
And on several of those roads where you went in and just had to take the hard surface off and get it down, it improved it so much and so many comments. I monitor all of
yes, sir.
community Facebook deals
Yeah.
and there was just such positive comments about that. And you made some statements in there too that, yeah, well, this is just the start of it.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes, sir.
overall plan's gonna be much better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. we're excited that the team out there has just been unbelievable, and it's just fantastic how it's working out. Yeah, we'll get that started pretty quick because hopefully the weather's getting a lot better for all of us, and we can get started a little bit quicker than what we usually do. Still new at this, but we've got some great plans, but if we can get that Battle Lake, and I don't bring up this, but Old Mart Lake, we're talking about the low water crossing that was over there with y'all. It was blocked off for 2.5 weeks with the water, and there's probably 40 residents out there that had to go miles and miles around. So I think me and Amy are going to look into that and try to get something done with that. You'd have to raise the road 9 foot to make it not flood, so that's not going to be the issue. It's going to have to be that there's just small culverts in there, and we're going to have to get that looked at too pretty quick.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? And Cody will be getting in touch with each of y'all's offices about the next retreat time, and then ask for agenda items at that time. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Dustin?
And just, we'll work with Commissioner Wilson and Amy and Mike on any interlocals that are needed as we step off for those areas inside Holsburg as well. And I think that should be all the action items on the agenda if we just want to confirm.
That's correct.
That's correct.
All right, we should be good, Judge.
All right. Anything else to come before the court? If not, we stand adjourned.